Are we good? Well, let's just open up with a prayer. So find that comfortable space within inside of yourself and say quietly to yourself, peace. Be still and recognize your true divinity is oneness with all of creation. Knowing that you have been appointed the divine one of this earth, able to carry that mantle in your full authority of knowing who you are. Let this day be the first day that you recognize and walk in that understanding. And for the time that we spend together in oneness and in harmony, we say Ashe, 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 Ashe. Well, this morning, we were supposed to be talking about self-love. And I always ask Spirit, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? And I like to also ask people, turn their phones off, put them on vibrate, or whatever we can do. You don't need to remember listen to the beeps and the things, because we are live streaming. And I know that technology is a great part of what we do right now, but wonderful little song, yeah. And I know BZ has some really nice ones, and every time I hear his, I want to dance to him. But today, I'm not going to talk about self-love. Because when I was sitting in the back with David, if we really believe that we are creators, and we're co-creators, that everything that we do is natural and new. We don't do the same thing. Nowhere in nature does God do the same thing. He doesn't repeat anything. Every snowflake is different. Every person is different, although this is a female, 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 male, 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 female. But we're all different. So that's the individuality and the originality of our God. And if we are co-creators, then we have originality. So we don't do the same thing over and over, but we do the similar things. We maybe use similar words. I may wear a dress, she may wear a dress, but they're different dresses. That's who we are. So to get us to think differently, we have to do differently, to understand truly what it is. And we say, oh, that's consciousness. Oh, this is energy. What is consciousness? What is energy? When David walked in, the first question he gave to me this morning, and I love this brother because he stimulates me, and I know that the answers are in me, all of them, right here. You ain't got to go nowhere else, they're right here. So I can take that on that authority and say that without it being egotistical, because I know that I am God. A lot of people can't carry that, oh, she thinks she did it. No, I am it. Yeah. And you are too. You just don't recognize it. I'm waiting for y'all to catch up with me so you can be with me, so we can be a strong it together. Because that's the only way we're going to make it together. Being that strong it. I want you to be able to say, we are it. And feel good about being it. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, you think you're cute or you're trying to be all. Yeah, you are. You're supposed to be. Because in the beginning, the Word was with God. And who are you? See, somebody came along and took your story from you, took your love from you, took what you knew about yourself and diminished it. And when they started diminishing who you were and what you were about, it started diminishing you until you see what we see today walking out in the street, the way that we act towards each other, the way we talk to each other. Because somebody started diminishing who we were. And they said, no, you're not God. God is that white man up in the sky with a white beard and streets of gold. And he was only special. He only had one son, like one Superman, one Batman. Not us. It's all of us. What do we say? What is one of our sayings? It says, it takes a village to raise one. So we have to get out of our European thinking mind and get back into our Afrocentric mind to understand really what consciousness is about. So when David came in and he asked me the question, he said, where is consciousness? Now I know the answer, so I'm going to ask you, because everybody always says, I give you the answer, so I'm not giving any more answers. I'm going to ask the question, where is consciousness?
Give it trouble, David.
He asked me, so he already got the answer. So come on, give me your best shot of where is consciousness?
Where is consciousness not? Meaning consciousness is everywhere. That's all that there is.
So if consciousness is everywhere, and we know that, then how come we always say, I don't know? Because we don't feel like we're lazy and don't feel like thinking about it. That's a cop-out. So if we follow AA's protocol, and once we admit something, now we can do what with it? Work with it. So now that we know that we're lazy and we don't really want to do this, then we have nobody to fault but ourselves. Because we know that consciousness is everywhere. We know that we have that access to consciousness. An example that we talked about earlier, if you get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe, where were you when you stubbed the toe?
Where we stubbed it.
Say that again. Go ahead, Don.
Wherever you stubbed it, so like you got up and hit it up against like a door.
But you don't remember because you wake up in the morning, your foot is hurt, and you go, dude. So what happened during that space of time when you hit your foot and you got up in the middle of the night?
Sleepwalking.
Okay, you can say that you were sleepwalking. So where were you? Where was consciousness?
There's an infinite possibilities where consciousness could be because consciousness is everywhere. Just because you're not aware where you are somewhere. You are somewhere. You're just not aware where. So to ask that question, if you don't know where you are, I can't say I was here because I don't know. Because I was not conscious of where I was.
But we say that we do know.
But
you know everything.
There's a difference between knowing and being aware.
Okay.
I can know something, but I can know something and not be aware of something at the same time.
Okay, so where is that part of you that knows it and the part of you that doesn't know it? Where is that? So you're telling me you're split, you're divided, that you're not always whole, but what do we do?
Exactly.
So you're split.
Am I split? Okay. Here's the deal, right? Knowing and being aware, right? Now, I need to just seal this for a minute.
Okay, very good, very good. Because this is exactly where we are. This is where we are as a people. This is the way we are at how we think and how we understand what it is that we say that we understand. But so many times we mouth things. And a lot of times, certain people mouth things and we start believing that thing that they mouth to us about us. And it keeps us in a particular place. And it never allows you to get to your greatness because subconsciously you're believing that thing that they were mouthing about you. And we do it in so many different ways and on so many different levels. And if we are truly saying that we're going to be spiritual and enlightened, then we need to enlighten ourselves and understand how we are thinking and why we're thinking the way that we're thinking and why we're saying that we're consciousness and then we're not knowing where we are or what we're doing. I know it, but I'm not aware of what I know.
I got it.
That's like saying my name is Dorita. I know that's my name, but I'm not aware that my name is Dorita.
I got it. Yes, yes, that is true for my being. I am conscious. That's all I am, right? There is a since I'm everything and everybody, I'm all of that. There is an aspect of me that vibrates in non-resonance with, yes, there is a detachment from time. Okay, back to the question again. I got it, okay.
You're going to get it, and I feel you reaching for it. You may need to sit a little bit longer, so that when you express the thought that is there,
Right.
it'll come out
All right,
smoothly.
yeah, I got it.
Smoothly. But I thought I saw a hand or
Being able
something.
to, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's kind of like when you meditate and you go to this different place. You're aware of your going and you're conscious of your going. But in meditation, you stay at one for some reason.
You stay that one.
Yeah, you stay within that as a unit, as one unit.
Okay.
But like when you sleepwalking or you wake up in the middle of the night, your pillows on the floor and your blankets on the floor, and you say, what in the world did I do? I think when you go into that type of REM sleep or whatever, your consciousness is reconnecting with your creator. And in that slumber state, for some reason, I think we go into a denial about who we are. Because why would we wake up and say, why did I do this? I don't know if that's making sense, but I do know that when you do the meditation, there's more of a union and there's more of an openness to answers that come that may not come the way you perceive them to come. But just being open. Uh-oh.
I got it. I got it. Thank you for that, OBA. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to just sit with that for a minute, right? Because I admit, I have the ability to take my consciousness, all my focus, and to concentrate it into one single thing, right? So much so that to the point where I am not aware of other aspects of self. Because I got all of self attention and attention directed and pinpointed in this one thing, such as meditating. I can meditate to the point where I'm focused on certain things happening around me I'm not aware of. I'm conscious of those things because of my energy system. They're communicating. So I'm conscious of these things, but I'm not aware of them. You can be conscious of them because I'm
But
not.
if you're conscious, aren't you aware?
No, I'm just telling you that right now. For me, you may be.
Okay.
You may be. But for self, I am consciousness. But because I can focus my attention, all of that into one thing, such as a human nature, such as an external, and I can be so focused in some external, some distraction, that I'm not aware of my total consciousness. But then I can say, well, wait a minute, let me become aware. So I slow down, my vibration change. Then I become aware of not just self, I become aware of you, I feel you, I feel you. So I can now become aware of my consciousness.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So
Yes.
now are you telling me that now it sounds like you're backpedaling and saying, but I'm aware, I'm so focused, I'm here, but I'm also here too. So where's the disconnect of the awareness? Because if you are focused, your intention here,
Right.
but I'm still aware.
I'm not aware. That's
you're
what I'm
not-
saying.
So you're saying you're not aware of your outside.
Right.
The focus for me, I consider engagement. I engage myself sometimes on a bigger and bigger level. It depends on how focused that I am. When I get focused and I have that one singular, whatever it is that I, am engaged in, I may cloud out the other things because I'm trying to put my energy into a specific area. And the belief, the biology of belief, it says that we have all these communities of all these things that are coordinated. So all these things are still going on and still being coordinated, but I am not paying as close of attention to
Why,
it
God?
on a whole basis. I sometimes have to slow down, but sometimes I slow down to focus. Sometimes I am, open and receptive on a wider basis where I can have a whole, experience, but I sometimes disengage from certain things to save the flavor of whatever, or to be more inclusive or exclusive. I mean, I have that choice, so I exercise that as
You exercise
as a
what?
level of comfort for me, so that I can enjoy.
But if we're
as I
gonna walk
engage from
into
this
our full consciousness and we're not allowing this
can't.
human
I
aspect of us
do
to
enough
give
to
us
have
our
a muscle.
metaphysical cop
It's a
out,
lot.
we have to go beyond that. Because that is an adjustment that you're saying that you're making to
It's like
yourself.
an exercise.
If I am aware, now, if I'm aware and I'm working on something, I'm working on this and I'm told the phone rings, disconnect, answer the phone, talk, and I go right back. I'm aware of everything that's going on. I'm aware of the birds that's outside chirping. I'm aware of the noise that happens in my house, but I'm still focusing
And
on
that
the
adds to
touch.
the ambiance of the whole experience.
But the question is, you said it was a disconnect from your consciousness and awareness.
It depends, I
Would
can
tell me about
I can
your
still have
disconnect from
some
your awareness
engagement
and your
of these
consciousness.
other things. I can still have the engagement of these other things.
So you're not
It
disconnected.
may take for me to sit back for a
You're,
second.
listen to the
actually
question.
realize, come back.
So you're not disconnected. So you're not disconnected. So you stay connected to your consciousness and your awareness.
Yes.
Okay, so what are all those other words?
No, all those other things, I have a choice to be either focus or not focus. I'm zoomed in on something and not as engaged in these other things.
No, you're not engaged in them. The question was, are you conscious? Where was the consciousness? Where was your awareness? So you're saying that you're there simultaneously.
Yes, but
Yes.
not on a focus level. I have a focus and I focus on one thing intentionally.
But that was not the question.
I'm engaged in the main thing, but I also have some balls in the air, some other things. I'm aware of the other noises, of the birds, of the music, of the candle, of the light, of the whatever.
So you're not disconnected. Okay, that's good. We got you. Yes, ma'am.
Like, Chef,
Right.
at the marinating for a second.
That's
I'm
right.
not backpedaling on nothing.
That's right.
But I believe that, well, I know this part, we're living in two different realities. One reality, the one reality is the spiritual. The one reality is the awareness of our source, and what we are as energy. The other reality is this physical flesh. And I think that there's a dual communications going on. There's one place this flesh can't go, that the spirit can, that the energy can. Just like they say, you can say a prayer or meditation or whatever, and you see things happen. But physically, you couldn't take your body in to make that change.
To make what change?
If there's something, if you're trying to put, okay, so say for example that you're trying to change a habit.
Okay.
Physically, your body can't help you make that change.
Why not?
Because it's this physical matter, this condensed matter. It don't have that power. The power is in the energy that sustains the physical body.
So if the power that's inside of that physical body is saying we're going to change this habit, then what is the body doing to present?
It's following it.
What's following it?
The body's following whatever that.
Okay, so if the body is following, then why hasn't the change happened? If the energy inside the body is saying we're going to change this
If
habit.
your words are alive,
Mhm.
if they're real and they're alive and they go out and come, would you please or would you?
Right.
When you put your word out there, there has to be a certain level of sincerity of heart, sincerity of intent.
Okay.
My intent is to stop drinking whatever I'm drinking, or marijuana, or whatever.
Right.
And once I put that thought out on the ethers in a sincere way, the body can flow right along with that. There's not a disconnect, but the spirit part, the energy part, that's where the power is at. But we're still two-dimensional because the body can't do something that the spirit can't. It's like when we're sleeping, we go up into another dimension. And that's
What is that? Okay, but we're talking like you're separate, okay? Do you see two of me or one of me?
two, because I see the physical body of you, and I see the aura that's coming out of you. So that's two different things.
Okay, so you see those two different things. So if I step over here, is the aura?
Your aura goes with you.
Oh, so it's with me. So where's the separation? I'm trying to understand this thing. I'm really trying to understand this thing about consciousness and its separation. You said we live in the two realities. I'm in the two realities.
I see the physical and the spiritual. So I'd say that what she's saying is the aura is the spiritual, and then the physical. And I believe what she's saying when she's saying that the physical, the body can't go in. Although the spiritual person has been activating the certain healing, whatever energies that you want to occur within your physical, but the physical can't say, okay, here, let me go in here and fix and take the stress out of this muscle. Although there is a tendency that we have recently spoken of, including some physical activity, working on some of those blockages of those energy ways, so maybe it's all connected. It's just an extension of, I knew it when I said it, that it was coming to that place. But, okay, so the two are one,
The two are one, they're on different dimensions.
having an experience in two different dimensions.
Here's a question.
Whoa.
No more questions.
It's really addressing what you're saying, because when I'm hearing you talk, I've heard everybody talk to me. They're admitting to a duality, but then they're trying to make it one. And so I'm saying, okay, either I can't hear clear, or y'all are saying two different things and not hearing yourself saying two different things. You said we are citizens of two worlds, exactly. I'm walking with you. And then you start talking about her aura and her physical body.
She's on her way.
So I say, okay, the physical body, maybe that's where the question is. Do you think that this is the physical body? Is that your thinking? Unless, not just for, oh yes, for everybody. Is this your thinking that this is the physical body that you see? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm not giving no more blanket answers.
Yeah.
Because I can weigh it, and because it has mass, I will say that it has a physicality.
Okay, this is what I want to bring your attention to. There's natural science and there's spiritual science that goes along with what you were talking about, citizen of two worlds. So you have, if you go with the natural science, there are boundaries to it. Given there are boundaries, and if you want to get into the spiritual science, there's something you have to do. It won't happen automatically. Even though you exist there, you're not conscious of it. Not conscious of existing there, even if you want to believe that you are.
There you go.
Since you're not conscious of it, but you know you are feeling what you said you can measure, which is a natural science thing, the truth of that is, yes, you can measure it, but that's not reality. It's not real. It's not even physical. It's mineral. Now, minerals, what are minerals? Is coal a mineral? I guess we could say yes. Coal comes from plants. Yeah? Where did that plant come from? Go way back in time, all the way back to wherever you want to, and tell me, how did that plant get here if there was no mineral? Because you told me that the mineral came from the plant.
Okay, so there's a circle, there's a...
Is it? Is there a point of beginning?
Right.
Is there a point of beginning? Because this is what we're talking about in consciousness, and this is the things that you're not thinking about because you're so oriented to the natural science. Things that you can measure, things that you can weigh.
Well, why would you, then is this physical?
No, it's a mineral.
It's a mineral.
It's mineralized.
Can I ask?
Sure.
I think we operate on frequencies, and I think we've been taught to operate in this realm on the lowest frequency. That's why we can't really communicate. Everything, like you said, is interconnected. We have, say, contacts with the whole universe. The whole universe is part of our network. Okay. In that network, we have frequencies. we are at such a low frequency right now, we can't even communicate with ourselves. Okay, at one time, we were at a much higher frequency, where I think that's how the pyramids and all that came about. But I think today's, they have that dumbing down like they do in your public schools, that they give you to make sure you never, say, ascend to what you used to be. Okay, so we have all of these connected. I'm related almost to electricity because I do deal with that too, but it's the amount of current or the amount of attention you put in that current that gives you those connections. So right now, we are focused so low, we have such a big current at the low level, we could never, say, get in true balance with our soul and our spirituality to arise, to move up the chain to the next level of consciousness, if I'm making myself clear.
Okay, now let me throw this one in.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, because you're saying that we're frequencies, but we are, as mankind, are entering the sixth root rate of consciousness. Adam was supposed to have been the first.
Well, we are a bunch
So-
of atoms and electrons.
Right, but I'm just talking about the man Adam, that, the
No,
story.
because even if you want to go back
So
there,
we are elevated.
Moses was able to communicate to the animals to tell them to get on the boat. All right, if you want to go there.
Right.
Okay, so we had that consciousness at one
We
time.
had,
Oh, we still do. Okay, I take that back. You're right. We are not utilizing the consciousness we once had. Okay, and we've been dumbed down and still intentionally dumbed down, so you cannot realize what you can be, what you can truly manifest. Okay, and so I feel that we in here, I guess, in ISC needs to find that balance of spirituality and soul. And I think that's the only way we can ascend or arise.
okay, so, because we say these words and we say, we need to do this, okay? I know that I need to stop smoking. So why don't I do it? Why don't I just say to myself,
You can stop smoking overnight.
right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Be
right,
serious.
so that's what I'm
Okay.
saying about the
Because you're brought
conscious.
into that whole frame that, I can't do it, I'm whatever.
You could do it.
Yeah, okay, so what I'm saying, the same thing with us, saying that all that wonderful words and expression, I'm over here, I'm over there. Why can't I be here and be what I say that I am? If I say that I am it.
Because it's about the work, because it's not our first lifetime here, because what we're dealing with is the programming and conditioning of our spirit.
And we understand that.
Right.
I mean, especially us, we understand that,
So
we know that.
then once we begin to do the work, practice makes perfect. So we practice doing that, and eventually we shall become perfect, because we're in time and space. So it's all about the work. And if we're not doing the work, we will never get there. But if we're doing the work, all we do is say, hey, I'm doing the work, and I'll see you when you get there. Nothing more to say.
I've always wondered, do practice really make perfect, or do practice make better?
For me, practice makes perfect, because I know who I am. For you, it could be close to perfect, whatever. That's not my call.
Okay.
All right.
So are we consciously aware of where we are, or are we still separated? I lost this. Where are we now?
Well, how you get lost? Would you divide yourself up?
No, I'm saying the understanding that we're having here. In other words, the question was, if consciousness is everywhere, but I could be consciously here, but I'm not aware that I'm consciously here. So are we aware now that we're consciously here, or we're still separated saying, I'm consciously here, but I'm not aware that I'm unconscious or unaware over here? Or am I a total package?
Okay.
No. We're dependent upon each other.
So are we aware, or
We're aware.
we're aware and conscious?
I'm the total package.
We're
Sometimes I'm not
aware.
aware of it, though.
Say that again?
I am the total package. I know that. But sometimes I'm not aware of that.
That you're the total package.
That's right.
So why do you choose that?
Because for so long, I have chosen that in my previous lifetimes. That now when I want to choose the other on a consistent basis, because I've been going the other way for so long, it's taking time to come back. So what I'm presenting to you now is that I'm simply doing the work on a daily basis to arrive at that place on a constant, consistent basis.
Okay. Do you say that you're God?
I say that I am Haru.
Okay.
I am-
You're Haru.
I am, who's communicating with you now is a child of God.
Oh, so you're a child of God?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not God. You don't
No.
take on that mantle.
Not right now, I'm a child of God.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody who takes on the mantle of God.
Mantle of God, and explain what you mean of that.
The mantle, in other words, if I say
I'm a
that I'm-
goddess, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a
okay,
goddess.
so if you're a goddess, then.
If my daddy's God and he made me, then help me out here.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because she's already doing it, so if you're God, if there's anything that you want or to manifest, are you manifesting
Yes,
at all times, what you want?
all depends on my intent. And my honesty
So
is my
now we
intent.
have,
I mean, I can say I want a whole lot of things, but if my true intent is not to do it and to dishonor what I'm saying, then it's not gonna happen. I gotta make a contract with the spirit.
Okay, so are you consciously doing that?
I have in the past.
Consciously made an agreement for something?
And then broke it.
And then broke it or didn't want it in the first place?
Or allow different reasons from external reasons to promote.
So now that you know that, what are you gonna do from this point on?
Then when I make those type of contracts, I honor my contracts. And I have things in place so that when I do slip, if I slip, they help me pull myself back out.
And I guess what I'm hearing is what I call the metaphysical loophole that we keep open for ourselves. Because if I say that I am God and that I know all the answers, or that I can do a thing, then why do I need to slip the door open here on my side? Because I get tired, I don't want to do it, my intention, I leave a door open.
It's just like you decide to stop smoking. Okay, so you stop smoking for maybe 2 months or whatever. Then you go to this party, your girlfriend have a birthday party, you want to be there to honor her or whatever. The folks in there are smoking. That would be a temptation for you to go back to smoking. And it would make you break that contract you originally had.
So this takes me back to my original topic that was supposed to be, do I love myself?
Well, prior
Because if I really love
you would
myself,
not, well, prior to that time, then no, you did
because
not.
I used to smoke, and I have never gone back. Once I said I was not gonna smoke anymore, I've never picked up. I don't care if I've been in a room full of people with smoke.
Well, I think prior to a person stopping smoking or drinking or whatever it is, no, they do not love themselves as they confess. I don't believe that.
But that's what I'm saying, okay, if we can do that, if we have the ability to do that right then and there, then that means that we have the ability to do that anywhere.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that we need to see for ourselves, as opposed to giving us the back door, is to say, this is what I am, and do what we said that we are. You see what I'm saying? Because if we keep giving ourselves
Excuses.
an excuse, the out. So it's much, much easier for me to go back into that out if I allow that for myself. But if I say that I'm never going to smoke again, which I did for me, because I kept trying all these little different things. There's been one day I didn't have a cigarette, next day I didn't have it, next day, never smoked, no matter how many people were around me. So what I'm saying is that if we could set up that dynamic for ourselves on an ongoing basis, for whatever it is that we say we were going to do, what's going to happen to the spirit that's inside of that body? It's going to be stronger, it's going to be more fortified, and it's going to start walking and knowing that it can walk in its authority. Because I've done this, because I'm proving it over and over and over again to myself. So each time I do that, I become stronger and more confident in myself about what it is that I'm doing. But if we allow ourselves to have those little backdoor exits, I only do it this one time.
You go in the back door, but I call it getting the experience. You have the authority to experience your body in whatever way you choose. And if you have balance in what you do, or whatever it is, everybody has their own boat that they float, and whatever floats that boat. For me, it's energy. If you put the energy into what you want to do, you energize that, your intention, you make that, that's what you want to do. But if you so choose that you want to be out and enjoy yourself in some other ways, in some other environments, you can do as Rome did.
Yes, you can. That's a very human thought. We're
all
talking
the
about
time.
God.
I am talking about God, giving authority of who they are and what they want to do. It doesn't matter how they do it as much as they have control and they intend or don't intend. They energize it to the point, to the place where that's what they enjoy. And if they enjoy it to an extreme, then it may have some impacts on some things that they.
I'm gonna stop you right there, because that's not where I'm trying to go with this.
Otherwise.
I'm not trying to go there. I'm gonna have to stop you, because I'm not trying to take people back to the back door. I'm trying to get people to think in a new and different way, a more dynamic way, a way that is going to empower them. Because we keep giving ourselves those back doors, and as long as we keep giving ourselves those back door excuses that of I want to experience, I want to do this, that's where we stay. Wiggle, wobble. I'm trying to give you your sea legs. And the only way we can get our sea legs is to make me mind me. If I tell me you're not going to smoke anymore, then you're not going to smoke anymore. Done.
That's right.
Period. Mama done spoke. But if I say, well,
and I have so chosen to do that, but at times.
okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm going to let you stay there. I don't want that vibration out. And it's okay, because you have a right to have that vibration. But today, as I stand here and I see what is going on, and I start seeing what it is that we do to keep ourselves back and forth, back and forth. We got to stop it somewhere. We got to stop. We got to say, no, you're not going to do that no more. If we keep giving ourselves these outs, it makes our constitution weak. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to me, because there's some things that I need to do to say, stop it, stop the madness, and get on about the work of doing what we know we can do. Because I know I'm a very powerful woman, I'm a very strong woman, and I can do that. But every time I give myself that out and say, well, you know what, this lady in the end of the day, take it easy. That's another day I got to make up. And another day that my so-called people, when I say I'm working for the people, that I'm not serving them, I'm not taking them where they need to go, because they already got the out. They already got it easy. They're already thinking, I don't have to do this. They're already there. So if I'm going to pull them out of it, I got to pull me first. And I got to be strong with me, and I got to be hard with me, and I got to make me mind me. And this is what I say to my students, you make you mind you. If you know you're supposed to do something, make yourself do that thing that you say that you're going to do. It's only going to make you stronger. If we keep giving ourselves the outs, that's what we'll get. And we get a weak constitution. I don't believe that we as a people have ever had a weak constitution. Ever. Now, there are some things that's within that constitution that we have accepted that has weakened us. But I don't ever believe that we have a weak constitution, because we have endured too much. We've gone through too much. And now it's time to turn that. If we are truly believing that we are consciousness, and when we say consciousness, I think everybody believes that consciousness is everywhere. Energy is everywhere. So as that energetic consciousness that is everywhere, and I can control my individual consciousness energy, then I darn well better do it. Because if you see me doing it, maybe it'll give you the courage to do the same thing too. But if I'm wiggling wobbling, and I'm saying, well, I'm going to do it, this is all right, I'm going to let this slide, then I'm going to let you slide. And you're going to let me slide. Where is the strength in that? That's what I'm talking about. This is a new day. It's a new way of thinking. It's a new way of approaching this. It's taking yourself under your own control, demand, and authority. It's something that you've never done before because you've had the back door. I'm nailing the back door shut.
Watch out, nigga.
Now you don't have that. If we say that we're going to do something, we gotta do it. We gotta take it. We gotta do it. Nobody's gonna give it to us. Nobody's gonna hand it out to you. We say that the Caucasian did this to me, they did that to me. Caucasian ain't done nothing to you but what you've allowed him to do.
That's right.
What you've allowed. If I told you, well, I don't even have to tell you, you know, what's in your water? Fluoride. Is fluoride good for the human body?
No.
Then why would we take a bath in it? Why would we do that? But we do.
Yeah.
Skin's the biggest organ of the body. Well, it's just this one bath. Then it's the next bath and the next bath. You're trying to ascend, but you're pulling yourself down at the same time. And when I say this to you, I'm not just talking to you and trying to put anybody on the spot or say that you're doing this. I'm doing it too. But I'm recognizing what it is that I'm doing. And I'm saying, if I know everything, if I'm consciousness and I'm this dynamic energy, and I can be everywhere, then why am I not doing it? Because I so choose not to do it today. I think I just went, no! But that's what we do to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We do it. We do it to ourselves. So now, if anybody had planted that seed in me to say that, you know, you really don't have to do that, you can try to do it. Okay, you can just try to do that, okay? You said, okay, well, I tried. What is that supposed to do? Make me feel good? Because I tried? That's like telling me to try to pick up this box. Either I'm going to pick it up or I'm going to put it down. That's it. There's no trying. There's no back door. There's no ifing in it.
But there's encouragement, there's positive reinforcement. Oh, you know what? You did better this time than the last time. I see you working good.
And that's a nice little Pollyanna, Caucasian pussy way of getting out of stuff.
What about a work in progress? What about a work in progress?
All right. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna y'all, you know what? Y'all gotta go and get me open. I'm too old to be a work in progress. When this shit gonna be finished? You understand what I'm saying to you? And you know, we talk about spirit, we talk about energy. Where am I putting my energy? Where am I putting my spirit? Am I being disciplined in myself? Am I making myself do the thing that I know that I need to do?
Nobody makes that choice but their own.
Exactly. Exactamundo. But if I keep giving you the back door and allowing you, perfect example. Students will come in, you know you're supposed to have your homework every week. Every week. So you had a bad week. Okay, and I'll say, okay, bring it next week. Next week come, the dog ate it. Your mama had a bad stomach ache. You had to go and help your mama out. So now it's 2 weeks you don't have your homework. Okay, it's all right. I'm just gonna make sure you have it by the end of this. Okay, so I go and do something else. The semester's gone, you haven't turned in any homework. What is the discipline?
You don't have none of your stuff no more.
I beg your
I
pardon.
said, well, maybe you moved and you don't have none of your stuff no more.
And that's what we do. The only thing I'm trying to get you to see is that we make excuses for ourselves and we allow ourselves to make the excuses. And then we'll say, well, this is why I wasn't able to do this. And the energy came and I was feeling this way and I was meditating and I was so out there that I couldn't bring myself back. I couldn't focus and I couldn't do it. So you make up this whole wonderful, elaborate story to yourself to make yourself feel better about your sorry ass.
That's right.
And this is what we do.
That's right.
We do it all the time.
All the
And I'm
time.
not talking about just you, I'm talking about me.
And me too.
Because if we as a people really, honest and truly wanted to do something about the Europeans and the treatments that not only we are getting, but the treatment my babies are getting, the treatment my grandchildren are going to be getting, the food that they're going to be eating. I may be dead and gone and reincarnate and come back into this shit again, but my babies here who don't know, if I don't teach them now, they're going to be eating what is it,
GMOs.
GMOs? They're gonna be wearing Dacron polyester rayon and think that shit is okay? My little girl's gonna be licking pussies and thinking that's okay? It's not! It is not! I don't care about a new norm. That is not a norm, that is a sexual preference. And I don't give a flying how you want to have your love making made to you. I don't care about that. But when you put it out there in a way that my little daughter cannot make her own decision about who and what she is, and she cannot express herself as a female, and she's confused, and she's looking at some dude who's trying to be me, be her, and you're telling me that it's all right? It's not all right, folks. It's not all right. It's not all right that you come over here and you take my land, and then you're going to come over here and then try to tell me that I got to pay the mortgage. You're going to put me out of my own house. It's not all right. It's not all right that you made up a story and told me that I came from Africa when I was already here.
Yeah.
It's not all right. And if I keep my back door open, that means that you can come in my back door anytime you want. And you can tell me anything. And I'll say, well, it's okay. You know, sometimes you want to do a little bit of this, you want to do a little bit of that. I tell you what, if we're saying that we are conscious individuals, I'm conscious, I'm energy, I'm aware, that consciousness, wherever you think that it is, and that awareness, wherever you think it is, you better land someplace happy and connect. And to learn how to be there and focus and channel it, whatever words that these Europeans have given you to express yourself. I keep it simple. Whatever the words are that you need to use to express yourself and knowing who and what you are as a divine being, because on one hand we're saying I'm a divine being, but on the other hand we're acting like an idiot. God is not an idiot. God is aware. God does know. And if you're saying that you are that energy or that you are the child of the energy, my mother was not a stupid woman, nor was my father. They did not have a stupid child. So how can I not be what they are? The apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. There is divine intelligence in each one of you. And it is perfectly knowing when, where, how, and what to do. The only thing I ask is that you tap into that divine intelligence that is within you and start actually utilizing it and feel good about that energy that's within you. Anything that you don't know, what do?
Ask.
No. Anything that you don't know, what do? Because if you ask, you may ask the wrong person. You may ask one of the Caucasians. That's what you've been doing. Yeah. If he tells you something, you believe it.
That's an
he told
extra.
you don't drink coffee. Then 2 weeks later, hey, coffee's all right. It helps you. Don't drink the wine. Red wine is okay. Drink the wine. Don't eat meat. Oh, no. The farmer just paid me. The meat is good. Come on.
Let me clarify. Ask my father. That's an external ask. When I say ask internal. What was
if you don't know what to do, find out what you don't know. Find out what you don't know. That means that sometimes you're going to have to do your own research. You're going to have to do that work for you on your own. We are so wonderful, so powerful in who we are. And I know this, we started off talking about consciousness, awareness, and I got carried away. But I needed to get carried away. I needed for you to know how truly divine you are as a people. We need to understand our roles as males and females. Females don't like certain words. Males don't like certain words. I don't want to be submissive to my man. That's a big one. And I have a problem with that word too, for whatever reason. But I understand what that means. As a female, I am receptive to my man. My man should understand what type of woman that I am. So when I'm out of kilter, he knows how to calm me down. He knows what to say. He knows better than the rub his feet. You want to go get you some ice cream? What you need? He needs to know that. I need to know how to take care of him. Together, when we know one another, then we can truly build a nation. Because he's going to know when to impregnate me for us to have the children that we need to have. To make a strong nation. Have you looked at the children lately, what they look like? They look like anybody getting with anything. They don't ask no questions. You ain't say, well, is your daddy crazy? Is your mama crazy? Did they have a disease or something? You know, we just lay down there. Oh, he looked good. I like that car. And we go with this. And we're creating anything. And then our society, they don't have to work very hard anymore. We've already made it very easy for them. The only thing they have to do is give you some sugar, some salt, and you like that, and fat back. And you eat it, you get fat and out of shape. These kids don't even have a shape anymore. At least we were defined. You know, we had muscles and you just had to work with them. Now they don't even look like they have muscles. They're just a big blob. Look, what the square bob pants, whatever his name is. SpongeBob. That's what they look like. We've got to understand who we are spiritually and start working from that. Our spiritual essence is the most important thing that we have. It's heavier than guns, it's heavier than the money. Because when you understand how to use that, then you can come together as a force. And we can make things happen. Money can wear out. It only has a value because somebody said that it was a value. Grass is a value. Plain old grass. That's a value. But if you don't know anything about grass, then you don't know how to utilize that grass. Dogs eat grass when they're sick. We eat grass when we're not feeling good. We need to know these things. These are very natural things because you are an organic being. You are an organic being, so you need organic food. Your body needs to breathe pure, fresh air. So when you're wearing Dacron, polyester, then the body can't breathe. And if you don't believe me, prove it to yourself. Go stop wearing your Dacron polyester and wear 100% cotton and see don't your body react different. I know mine did. The minute I put on a little polyester muumuus, I felt like I was suffocated because I was. It does not allow your body to breathe. But if you don't know that, then you'll keep wearing it. You keep wearing and purchasing and putting money in their pockets. If you don't know that your food is a GMO, then you'll keep eating it. And it'll start stifling your internal organs. So you can't even think a new thought. You can't even move a new thought. You can't do it. You'll only be just regurgitating what somebody else told you. My brother in the back told me that. He said, Rita, you know what? If you start eating raw food, man, you can think. I said, what? Yeah. Be thinking new thoughts. Brother ain't never lied to me either. See, when we talk to one another, a lot of times because it's coming from a brown skin like you, we don't give it value. White man say something, we all up in arms and we ready to roll with it. But we have to start honoring and respecting one another. And listening to what the other one is saying. Listen to what the question is being given to us. So that we can truly manifest that true divinity that is within us. We are our ancestors. We have to start getting back in touch with that divine divinity within ourselves so that we can move those bricks, so that we can create those pyramids. Because the pyramids started here in the United States and we moved that way to Egypt. That's why Egypt is so much talked about, because it was our last big hoorah. Those were the last and final and the great pyramids that we built. But we have a map back here that shows you that we have them all here. And they're called mounds now because when these Europeans came over, they brought the cold weather. Because the weather is controlled by your attitude. So they brought that coldness here. I grew up in this area. I used to go out in the early day and be out all day. And I would eat apples off the trees, peach trees. fig trees. I mean, they were abundant here. They're not anymore because the consciousness has changed. Who changed the consciousness? Who changed the energy? What did we do? What did we allow to happen that changed? And we started following suit on that new level of consciousness. They introduced certain words to you: try, maybe, could, would. All of those are doubtful words. All of those are words that gives you a metaphysical out for anything that you want to do. Well, maybe I'll do it later. I'll try to come to the event. Either you're going to come or you're not, because when somebody invites you to something, you already know within your heart whether you're going to go or not. You already know, but because you allowed your back door to be open, then you allow that energy to get in and say, well, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do it. Or I'll wait and see if Rose calls me and if she got something better to do, then I can go there. That's what we do. We leave the back door open. So you're going to leave your back door open, or you're going to close the back door? Because people will set you up for failure and tell you that it's all right. Well, you know what? At least you tried. I'm supposed to be feeling good about that? About being a C? Because that's what they tell you. Oh, don't you just want to be average? No, I don't want to be no average. This is an A. This is God. God is not a C. God is not an average. God is it. And that's what we were. We were it.
Word.
There were no, because we're not working at our full potential yet. But if I can get you to see and start thinking differently about your consciousness and take yourself to a new level and start working from that level and pushing you, making you mind yourself. And when I talk to you, I'm talking to me because y'all are just my mirrors.
Right.
That's it. Because I know this inadequacy is in me. And I see it. And I said, why am I doing that? Why? Because it's been programmed in me since I was 5 years old. What did they say? Bring your young to me and I will train them up in the way that they need to go. You look at the picture of the last Queen of Hawaii. All of those people were black as boots and had long wavy hair. Now you go up there and look at me, they all look like Chinese and Europeans. That's because they inbred it, and they changed the face. That's what they do. Constantly, everywhere they go, they take over. They come in, they take over. Nobody's going to heal us but us. If we decide to have a consciousness conference where we're talking and we're going to be working with one another, you better not bring one of them whiteys up in here. And it has nothing to do with hating them or not liking them. Matter of fact, I think they're wonderful. I really do. Because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Now, we need to do what we need to do. We need to do what we need to do. And then each one of us finds our strength and where we are. And then I know, okay, you're strong in this. Okay, here, you work with him because he's strong in that. And we start pairing each other up. And we start doing what we need to do. We're the only people who are not respected. We can't get anything done because we're not a reliable group. The Chinese can go in and say, look, y'all can have all of this, but we're keeping Chinatown. And all of these buildings are going to be owned by Chinese. Don't bring your stuff in here. And they stake their claim right there on 7th Street. And they build up all around. We can't do that. If we do that, then they say something's wrong. What's the lady who's going around and telling everybody to buy black? And they're wondering, why are you telling them to buy black? Are you crazy? Because they don't want you to have it. They want you to think that you're inferior. They want you to think that you're weak, that you can't do. They want you to give yourself a way out of everything. You mean to tell me you can't find a job and let the government give you some food stamp system? Here's some food stamps for your babies. Here's some formula.
Sugar.
So I keep those children in the way that they need to grow. You don't need a house sister. Go put you over here in the project. I didn't know that the project had barbed wire around it. I just saw that. I said,
I know we had it more.
yeah, Yeah, they got barbed wire around the projects.
It's a project.
Why?
But it's a project.
But why do you have barbed wire around the project?
Part of the program,
Project.
they want you to be used to.
Right, they're working on something. They're working on something. It's a project they working on.
President mentality.
It's working on something. It's a
And they got the
The
fence,
whole system is a project.
they got a fence around the buildings. They got a fence around. And it has little points on the fence.
So
It's
you
got
can't
little
jump the
points.
fence.
But then on the top of that fence is barbed
Yeah, so
wire.
you can't jump that fence.
So what is the
It's
gate?
not chasing you.
Yes, it's a gated community.
Yeah, gated, all right.
Cul-de-sac.
Gated.
It's a
But see,
minimum,
but
it's
you-
a minimum community.
But do you see the,
Minimum
Prison, that's what it is.
but do you see what we do, but we accept it? Because I really, I never saw the barbed wire. When I did, it was like,
I ain't know they
there's
had
barbed wire out there. It becomes a thing that we allow ourselves to do, and we feel comfortable with it, and it's okay. But if we're saying that we are enlightened spiritual people, and that we're gonna do things differently, then that means that we're gonna have to think differently. And to think differently, we're gonna have to examine the thoughts that we have been thinking and to see if they have been serving us. And those thoughts have not been serving us. Because when I give myself an out to do something, I won't take it. Because quite frankly, most of us, I know I am, I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go up and, okay, I gotta listen to your problem, you know, and try to help you work through this. That's tedious, it's boredom. But I love you. I love you. I love my people. And I believe that we can be a greater people. And I believe there's something greater in store for us. But we can't do that if we keep giving ourselves those outs. If we keep buying from their stores, eating their food, and their food is not necessarily good for us. One of the Moors asked me, he said, do you know, what food did we eat when we were, if we were from Africa, what were the foods that we would have been eating?
You ask them?
Huh?
You ask them?
Yeah, I mean, what were the foods? You know what I'm saying? What food is indigenous
Food that's
to that land?
Food that sustains life.
So when you come here and you're eating genetic, modified foods, what is that doing to you?
That's why they shop in their own international
That's
markets and they
That's killing you.
control their own import, even though it's not as sanitary as we would like. And it smells and they have flies and stuff all over the place, but they bring it in fresh. A few days after it's caught, I mean, it's still, the eyes are still clear, even though, you know, I don't consider it sanitary. They don't eat any out of the regular grocery stores.
Right.
I don't see them in there.
That's what you're saying.
And
That's what I mean, I don't see them.
They package it the way they used to get it. They cut it, they even have the whole
They
thing.
use a lot of salt.
That you use, they have the head
I
on
don't
it.
see
all
Asians in the regular store.
No, Asians, they go to their own stores.
Right. I don't see 'em.
But you let one of us get a store,
Well, you got. You got my stuff.
they close you down.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Right.
Why is that? I mean, and I know that we're really not lazy people because we had Wall Street, we had Rosewood, and there were other communities that we had. And the minute we have our own communities, they come in, they take
Tear it
over,
down.
they tear it down. Why is that? But they don't tear down anybody else's community. You should ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
Because I know I used to think, you know, when people were telling me, well, you know, we were here first, this is our land, and I'm saying to myself, why are they interested in us? I ain't reading nobody, because at that time we were using the N-word. So we would say, well, I'm just, you know, so why are they interested in me?
They don't know who you
That's
are.
because you are king.
That's
You
right, they
are
know this.
queen.
But they were, we didn't.
So if you don't know that,
Mhm.
that's what I'm
Take
saying to
advantage
you. Anything that you don't know, find out what it is that you don't know. Find out what it is that you don't know. Because somebody knows something about you and they're not sharing it. They're not sharing it with you. They're not giving you the full picture of who you are and how dynamic and how wonderful you are. All this, when they tell you about voodoo, they make you afraid of it, and then they renamed it and called it hoodoo. So if I name a thing, that thing becomes mine.
Right.
Because most of your birth certificates on here will have Negro on it. Who gave you that name of Negro? So if I name you, then you're mine. You're my person. I own you. You are a minor. That's why they call you a minor. You're the
Minority.
minority.
They call you minorities.
And it's only 10% of them that walks on the face of the earth.
They got the older.
But they got you fooled. So now we got to take off those glasses and we got to understand who and what we are. Because anytime you have a society that's going around trying to get blacker than you, butts bigger than you, noses, lips, they're blowing themselves up.
Yes.
Why? Because they're trying to get close. And if you men start believing that y'all need a white woman and dumping your seed into that,
Yeah, cave dwellers.
you're creating half-breeds, half of the strength.
You like it or not.
Everybody else goes on the bloodline, except for us. Except for us. They're trying to make you a mongrel, and we are playing right into it. Where is your consciousness was the original question. Where is your consciousness? And if your consciousness is everywhere, then you need to be still and expand that consciousness out. Feel it. And you can do it. You can do it. I can remember walking into a conference, and there was a gentleman there, handsome, oh my God, tall, chocolate, good-looking man, eloquently speaking. And I saw my friends that I was going to meet there in that conference. There's about 4 of them in one little section. And see, you think that you can't feel energy and know it? They would just vibrate. And arcing, meaning sending their energy over to the guy who was speaking. It was a big arc. So when I came into the room, I felt it. I said, oh my God. All them women vibrating off of this brother. So I found my girl. I said, oh, y'all fiending. That's what it was. They were fiending. But they don't know. And then they say, I wonder how come that guy didn't like me. He don't know. Because they feel your energy. Because you just got it going out, spreading, and you're not containing it. You're not understanding who and what you are. So you're being seen. So when I tell you that I see you, yeah, I see you. I see the energy that you're putting out even if your mouth is shut. You don't want to say anything because you think that if you open up your mouth, she'll know. I'm going to know anyway because I see the energy. But there they were arcing. I said, wow. But they weren't the only one. They were just the heaviest concentration because they all knew each other. So there was a bond between them and then the energy that they were sending out. But the other women that was doing the same thing. I mean, heck, I was attracted to them. When I came in, I said, oh, look at here. But when I saw the energy going on, I had to shut down so that I could see and I could observe what was going on. We have to be so totally aware of who and what we are at so many different levels that we can't afford to split ourselves. We can't afford to have the consciousness over here, the awareness here, my physical body here, this over there. Now I can be right here and see all of you and not move my head. And I see every one of you. I saw him move over there and I'm looking here. This is where we need to be. Now I can put my attention here and I still see a shut. This is the consciousness that I'm talking about doing. There are exercises that we can do once we start training ourselves to those exercises and thinking and being in a certain way so that we understand what it is that we're doing at all times. And we're totally at one. Atonement. Oneness, atonement. I have to play on the words. Because that's what we need to get ourselves back to the place where our ancestors were. And the ancestors are still here, ready, willing, able to assist you, but only if you allow it. And you have to call on the ancestors. And don't call on the knucklehead ancestors. Don't call on your uncle who used to be drunk all the time and chasing your women. We don't want him around. Tell him to go sit down in the corner. Be still. Be still, Uncle. Just sit there now. We got work to do. Now, when you want to go to a party and have a good time, come on, Bill, come on, jump in. Let him jump in, because they'll jump. He'll get froggy and he'll jump and he'll be right there with you, help you enjoy those parties if that's what you want to do. But I say that even when you're going out to have those parties and enjoying yourself, you need to be aware. You need to be consciously aware. You need to know how much alcohol to induce into the body, and you can still be in control of yourself. Because if anybody's going to try to trip you up, that's when they're going to try to trip you up, wherever your weaknesses are. And you need to know how weak you are or how strong you are. You need to know how long you can go without sleep, how long you can go without sex, how long you can go without food, how long you can go without rest. You need to know your ideal time to meditate. And don't tell anybody what time that time is. Because you're open and receptive to anything at that time. That's your business. We can tell you how to find out that time for you, and then you. This is an age where they're telling everybody, tell everything, say everything, all the information is out there. All the information is out there. All the lies are out there too. And like David was telling me earlier, the half-truths are out there too. So when you're getting some of the truth, and you got all of the half-truth, you get confused. Well, maybe I'll go over here today, because I'm a little confused. Because that's what we do, instead of digging in and moving on. There is a lot of work for all of us to do. Whether, like I'll say it again, I'll wait until somebody comes to me and says, we're going to get together, we're going to meditate together, so that we can elevate the consciousness of our people. Because it doesn't need to be a lot of us who do that, it just needs to be a select few who have the dedication and the time to do it. And say, this is what we're going to do for our people. Because when I'm vibrating, you're vibrating. It's just like now, when you're listening to me, you're feeling me. And this is the way we talk to you. You're feeling me? You're vibing with me? That's what we say to each other, because we are those type of people. And if I'm feeling it, you're feeling it. Like I said, the conversation was on self-love, and I guess this did kind of weave into self-love, even though we started out with consciousness. Because you're conscious about yourself, and you're conscious about yourself, and I'm conscious about myself. If we join hands together, we can get something done. Just the three of us. Just think, if we could go down and get the consciousness of everybody in the projects, and the way that they are already motivated to do certain things anyway, on the negative side, if we put them on the positive side, that's power. I would be afraid too. I would be afraid. So much work to be done. You each individually have to decide for yourselves how you're going to do that work, when you're going to start that work. You got a lifetime. You're a work in progress. You can come back next time around. You know, whatever you want to say. Well, I'm only 20 now. I'll wait until I'm 30 and I'll work on that. You know, I mean, wherever you are, start on it now. Start practicing being your true divine self. Start working in that authority, and I guarantee you, the more you start working in your authority of who and what you are as a divine being, it's just going to strengthen you. You're going to get the confidence. You're going to say, you know what, I can't stand up in front of people and talk, because I was one of those people. I couldn't stand up in front of people. When I started to get up to talk, my tongue literally got stuck between my lips. And I asked him, get out here, go get some water. That's how nervous I was. But you don't necessarily have to stand up in front of people. You can sit down and do your work, but decide on what that work is going to be. Focus, concentrate, and don't give yourself an excuse. Because there is no excuse for your greatness. I should. Who was doing all that talking? I don't know who that chick was. I'm back. Do we have any announcements or anything that's happening in the community that we need to know about?
Well, you spoke about the babes, and we're connected to the Empowerment Center in Cheverly. There's a summer camp that's going on right now. They don't have it up ready this week, but every week they have a different week, or a different focus. Engineering, science, technology, our history, our heritage. A chef came in and did entrepreneurship, and you know, I do arts and crafts, but you know, it's a volunteer kind of thing. But we are asking that if you have some time, like if you'd like to tell stories, or if you want to be able to talk about natural, I want to talk about natural, whatever it is, that's your specialty, whatever it is that you like to do and you can be an authority on, like making jewelry, like the kind of work you do, or electronics, or, anything that we, want to be able to portray to this generation. Because these kids are from 9 to 17 at a very, very prime, they are just open to whatever they want to hear about. Every time somebody comes in, there's a guy there on Friday that was talking about bears. He had a bear skull. And so if you have any of that kind of stuff, we would, you have 4 or 5 more weeks. One day, you can be in touch with a chef, because, he's helping coordinate some of the stuff for it. But that's just something that I would like to give an opportunity for anybody who has that energy and that desire. And that's it.
Thank you.
Any other things in the community we need to know about, a chef?
Yeah, just to follow up with what Precious is saying, because the Empowerment Center is part of our organized collective, the actual work that we are doing, as they were doing about, being self-sustaining. I Admit. The Empowerment Center is a part of I Admit. I Admit is having a meeting Sunday, this coming Sunday, at 2 o'clock, right before the astrology class, about a 45-minute meeting, just to come check in, to see where we are in the work that we are doing, such as the food that we are growing. We talk about the MGOs and they poison us. We are actually starting the work of growing our own food, just so everyone is aware that we are doing something. We are doing something. We have stuff coming up the ground. So we are doing some things. We really are. There is a ISC group meditation on Thursday as well at noon, just for ISC. There's meditation Tuesday through Friday, but on Thursday is dedicated as a group collective to ISC. And there's an email that's sent out that's letting everybody know what the focus is, so that we can continue doing the work to progress towards what it is that we say we want to do. So
They
that's
also have
one.
a mentorship program, which is a part of, which you can also, if you want to be a big brother, you want to be a big sister, they have, kids that are on social services. This is the endangered population. The folks that you want to. Crystal is the
Yes.
head of this
Yes.
project, and she's got ways for us to keep our fingers in that pie.
Bridge the
Some
gap.
shoes.
Right, because
Okay, so,
now I'm just so emotionally excited about sharing this, because ISC, the school here, is a curriculum. We have tools to help us do the work to realize our divinity, while at the same time working with the Empowerment Center to help to reach back to those who are lost, who are in the projects. I'm working with kids in the projects. I go to the projects and mentor kids in the projects with the ball, and just like you said, I'm there mentoring them through the Empowerment Center, which is connected with ISC, which is up under I Admit. So again, I'm just getting excited right now. I'm gonna calm down because we are doing some things. I want to share the things that we are doing. I share.
our class is going to start in September. It's going to be the first Tuesday after Labor Day, and that's a 3-year curriculum where everything that you heard for today is in classes, but it's in books, and it's also working with you individually of who you are. Because if you know who you are, then it's easier for you to go out and work into the community and assist that. But if you still, got your back door open and you're out there in the community, that's what you're going to give to the kids, because kids see you. Their eyes, they see through your stuff, and they'll say, you know what, you got problems. You got, I got no problem. Yeah, you do, because they see you. They're open. They may not say anything. They may not trust you fully because they sense who you are. They know, just like animals. They know who to trust and not to trust. We have anger management classes up here at the ISC on Saturdays from 1 to 2:30. Dr. Wright is going to be starting a class on the 9th, is it?
The 23rd.
Oh, I'm sorry, the 23rd, that's right, he's moved back to the 23rd. And that's going to be a class on the lymphatic system, understanding the movement of the body and what's happening with that system, because you need to understand your own little private universe as well. What else? There's a class that I'm getting ready to start called Bell's Book Spells. Bells, candles, and spells. 'Cause everybody's always asking me about grimoires, how does those things work? So we're gonna do a little 4-week class, just a little teaser for you. See how that goes. I'll just leave it at that. Anything else, any other, Dave's class is today. He starts on astrology, right, after 3 o'clock, where he does, the zodiac, what is it, the sidereal and the tropical astrology instead. We'll have food in the back, and that is
Heart touch?
heart touch therapy, on Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock, 7 to 9.
Daily meditation.
He mentioned it.
And Thursdays.
Right.
We talked on Thursdays.
And the emotional wellness that Dr. Yu and I do here, we kind of, discontinued that for a while,
Okay.
right? But every other Monday, the second and fourth Mondays, I am over at Dynamic Wellness, which is another institution that's part of our movement with Sister Ma Christian, and we actually do an ongoing workshop over there that deals with being able to direct our energy.
The two of them are doing this workshop. That's not necessarily ISE workshop, okay, but they are affiliated with it.
Silent retreat, October.
Yes, we have a silent retreat, October 3rd through the 5th, where you're gonna be spending time in the total silence. You're gonna eat in the silence, you're gonna go horseback riding in the silence, you can do some yoga, some tai chi, but it's all silence we're talking. So we'll see who's brave enough to go with us for 2 days, Friday through Sunday. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that. And we're gonna have the Emerald Ball, and that'll be in September. We don't have a date yet, but we gotta put down the money in the room, we got the room. We got some good things going. And DC, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I was mentioning the newsletter,
Oh, yes.
okay, which will be, we need the articles by the 22nd, I believe, of July, to bring back the newsletter. Anybody who wants to submit any articles, please see me.
Great.
And on the 25th of July, we're having our second annual CHI Social. The CHI is an acronym for Collective Health Initiative, which we are getting. The 25th of July at Dynamic Wellness.
This past Friday, we had our student social, which was nice. We're doing that once a month. Next month, that is the replacement of our
The
student
social. We're gonna take the student social to
Combine
Dynamic
it.
Wellness with the heading of, this is our CHI Social second event, and vendors and, door prizes and,
Entertainment.
yes, DJ, whole thing.
All right. Anything else? That's it? All right, well, let's do our boy, girl closing. And it's going to be
ourselves out.
thumbs left. So if you make your thumbs go left, and what that does is connect the energy. We need another guy up here. Can we make it?
Yes.
All right, so, just find that quiet space inside of yourself, standing on your square, which means your feet are at a 90-degree angle. This energy follows angles. And Father, Mother God, we do give thanks for this time and this place. To be divinely in oneness, knowing who we are as a divine people of this earth, allowing ourselves to walk in that confidence of who we are, and being that divine, beautiful individual that we are. For this time that we spend together in oneness and harmony, we say Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe. So it is.
Give a hug, get a hug, make it a great day. I think Rose jumped in there.
I'm seeing.
I
gotta see it.
like your
Okay, cool. Good things.
Hey, good morning, Precious. How are you?
Yes, no, no.
How'd you enjoy it?
Don't shut me down. You don't look like it, but-
When you finish it, and I need this.